make a zucchini bread. It's that time of year when zucchinis are just about done in the garden and our pumpkins and our gourds are fresh and ready to go. So I've decided to make a zucchini bread, and a zucchini bread is an example of a quick bread. And the zucchini bread is a little bit different than the pumpkin bread we made the other day in the sense that the zucchini bread is a quick mix, meaning you mix all the ingredients together in one bowl all at the same time. Now, the pumpkin bread, that's an example of a baking. Michaela, could you show our friends? That's an example of a pumpkin you would bake with, or you would make pumpkin soup with. So this is a little pumpkin pie squash, part of the squash family. Tasty and delicious. You would have to roast it first before you were going to use it. But for the zucchini, all we have to do is shred the zucchini like we've done here. We have 4 cups of shredded zucchini that I've grated on the box grater right here. And the pumpkin bread that we made is an example of a muffin method, where we mix first the dry ingredients together and the wet ingredients go separately, and then we add them together. But the zucchini bread we're gonna do all in one bowl, so it's quick and easy. The hardest part is shredding your zucchini. All right, Michaela, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, fabulous. So I'm gonna add in my 4 cups of zucchini I have all ready to go, my 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Michaela, you wanna grab one of these zucchinis? Okay, so these are 2-cup measures. Got them all ready. Now my liquid in this is 1 1/4 cups vegetable oil, which we've measured out in our liquid measuring cup. All right, 4 beaten eggs. Now, you don't need to beat them very hard. You just want to gently beat them so that the yolks are mixed. This one yolk is rather tough. Okay, so 4 lightly beaten eggs go in. And I always like to put my eggs at room temperature. It gives them the ability to leaven or to rise a little bit more. And in the zucchini bread that we're going to make, we have baking soda and baking powder. We also have cinnamon and salt. And I've added those into my bowl with my sugar already. And the zucchini bread does have a high amount of sugar. It has 2½ cups of sugar, and that's because zucchini really isn't that sweet without sugar. So let me add this in, Michaela. All right, give that a nice mix. And then the last thing I'm going to add is vanilla. Michaela, do you want to smell the beautiful vanilla? Isn't that beautiful? All right.
Beautiful.
We need 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So here's 1 tablespoon and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a little extra because it smells so pretty. Yes, it does. Okay. So, you have that all mixed in? Perfect. Let's switch spatulas. It's a very aggressive scrape there. All right, now let's use our hand mixer. We're going to use the hand mixer today because this really only needs to be mixed on medium for just 1 minute in order to incorporate all the ingredients together and also make sure that our gluten is developing but not overdeveloped. And then we're going to pour it into the batter. So Michaela, on medium for 1 minute. Now while Michaela's doing that, we're going to talk about why you want to mix ingredients. So anytime you mix ingredients, whether it be by hand, a hand mixer, a KitchenAid mixer, or any other stand mixer you might have at home, you want to make sure that you have even distribution of your materials inside. So you want to make sure that the flour, the sugar, the oil, everything gets mixed up nicely in our zucchini bread. You also want to make sure that the leavening agent doesn't get lost. You want to make sure that that's evenly distributed and the baking soda and the baking powder get mixed in. You also want to make sure that you have the best method to blend, and for this bread, the hand mixer is probably the best method. You also want to make sure you develop the gluten, but you don't want to overdevelop it. So you're just going to mix for 1 minute to make sure that everything is developed. All right, Michaela, are we ready?
We are ready.
Perfect. We're going to scrape this. Just leave it right over on the side. Stand her up. All right, let's just scrape it down. Ooh, it looks good. Good job, Michaela. You must be the daughter of a home ec teacher. All right, let's pour this batter. Can you smell the cinnamon? smells delicious. Good job. All right, we're gonna pour it between our 2 loaf pans, and you wanna make sure that when you're doing this, could you scrape that for me? You have it even because they're gonna bake the same amount of time. Let's do half of that in this one, half, whoops, in that one. And then the recipe calls to use nuts. You can use 1 cup of nuts in this recipe to give it a little extra flavor and texture. I'm gonna make one without nuts for those of you who might be allergic, like myself. And then I'm gonna make one with nuts. So Michaela, if you could take that 1 cup of walnuts. Now, I like to buy the walnuts already pre-chopped, ready to go, because I don't like to handle them.
Would you like some?
No, I'm good, thank you. If you could just sprinkle those uniformly across the top. Perfect. That way we know that that loaf has walnuts in it. This loaf does not. We lost one. Perfect. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes at 325 degrees. The batter is really dense. It has 4 cups of zucchini in it. It's a dense batter, but it's gonna rise up, and then you wanna test it because it might take a little bit longer, maybe even upwards of an hour. So we'll show it to you when it comes out of the oven. I hope you enjoy baking Miles Squared. Enjoy and wait to see what our zucchini bread looks like. Well, our zucchini breads are out of the oven and they're looking absolutely delightful. Look how beautiful the top of it has peaked. We have our ones with our walnut on top, looks absolutely beautiful. And I'm cooling these breads on a cooling rack, and you always want to cool whatever bread or cookies you're making on a cooling rack so that the air can circulate underneath. I'm gonna let these cool in the pans for about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take them out and cool them the rest of the way on the cooling rack. Put a little butter on this bread and enjoy. You've got yourself a